Hey everyone, Billy Carey here with KB Tricks.
Hello.
Where are we at, hon? What are we doing?
So we are about an hour north of Duluth, Minnesota. We are going to explore the Split Rock Lighthouse.
This is the Welcome Center. We're gonna have to walk on in through first, but you can kind of see, poking up here in the tree. That is the lighthouse in the background there. Kind of easy to miss if you're not looking for it. They do have a nice gift shop where you have to buy tickets to explore Split Rock. You can also find some Minnesota related items. We checked in and we got our tickets. They also gave us a visitor's guide and we had to get wristbands. And first step is, where are we going to?
There is a movie that shows every half hour. So it's going to be showing in the next couple minutes. So we're going to take a look at that.
It's about 15 minutes long. So we'll head to the theater. Decent sized theater. Well, where should we sit?
I don't know. There's a lot of seats taken.
Do you see two together? I think there's two together over there. In the theater, they have this photo up. It's from the summer of 1918. And it looks a lot different now. There's no trees around the lighthouse, but a lot has changed in over 100 years. We just walked out of the film. The video. I thought it was very well done.
It was very interesting. A lot of information I didn't know.
Yeah, I definitely recommend watching it. I thought it was well done. But we're going to go check out the little museum over here and see what is in here before we head outside. A little bit of background here. The lighthouse was built in 1910 on Split Rock Point. A little bit more about the history of the lighthouse. This is interesting. This is some of the first souvenirs that you can get for Split Rock, including stamps and glasses. In this corner, this explains why they built the lighthouse. There were ships, such as this one here, that crashed near this area. They found that a lot of ships were crashing into the rocks near here, so they thought that this would be a great location for a lighthouse. And here's some of the wreckage that have been recovered from the ships that have crashed near this point, including a life jacket over here. This is kind of fun. So for the 100th anniversary of the lighthouse, which was in 2010, because they built it in 1910, they built this replica of the lighthouse out of Legos. I didn't even know this was Legos at first. It looks so smooth. And what are you learning about?
I'm learning about the hoist, which this big thing in the center here, this is what they put together, and this is how they originally got all of the supplies up to the top.
Because they didn't have roads, right?
Correct. It was all off of the lake.
So the way how the hoist worked was they built tracks, and then they would have the carts on the track, and this hoist piece of machinery would use a cable to pull the cart with supplies up the hill. This is fascinating right here. So this is explaining why they had to build a lighthouse at this location. As you might know, compasses work with magnets, and they point magnetic north. And so right here, this is representative of iron ore in the ground here in northern Minnesota. And a ship could be coming along and watch the compass here as the ship gets close to the iron ore that's in the ground. See that? It kind of flips around and freaks out. And so a ship could easily get lost in the lake, not knowing which direction is north, and run its course into, in the dark and fog, run its course into the shore. We were just kind of walking through the museum area, and there's our first look at the backside of the lighthouse. We'll head that way in a moment here. Stepping outside the back of the Welcome Center, and this is Lake Superior. And you can see, I think is that Wisconsin? Way over there? Seems like it's very far away. Oh, tropical heat wave. It's almost 30 degrees today. It was in the teens yesterday. Well, let's take a walk up to the big show here and check out what we came to see, the lighthouse. According to the video we watched, Split Rock Lighthouse is the most photographed location in the state of Minnesota. and one of the most photographed lighthouses in the world, right? In the
Sure,
world.
something like that.
World. As we walk up the path to the lighthouse, off to the right, these are the homes of the lighthouse keepers. They would live in these buildings here. They said 35 families lived here over the course of the operation of the lighthouse from 1910 to 1969. And so they lived here, they took care of the land, they took care of the property, make sure everything was up and running, and they also took care of...
They took care of tourists who came and explored the lighthouse and the property, and they made sure they didn't cause too much trouble.
Alright, let's go up and see what the view is and what this is all about up here. Oh wow. This is pretty. This is the view from the base of the lighthouse. And dang. What do you think? You're gonna take a photo of the lighthouse and be one of the millions to take photos of it?
I tried taking one from down below. I'm trying to find a good vantage point to get a good shot of it.
Oh, I think you can find a good shot from any angle. So honestly, from here, the structure itself does not appear very tall, but we are on a very high point on the rock face, and it is taller than the other buildings, but it can definitely shine a light for a very long distance, so you can see where this was. On the adjacent building here, those are the foghorns on the roof of that building. And they said, how loud is the foghorn?
They said it is the equivalent of an ambulance.
What was it, 120 decibels?
I think so.
So they could hear it for miles, actually, right?
Yeah.
And you can see the cliff here. I'm going to hang on to my camera tight. I don't want to risk losing this. And yeah, you can just see the cliff face straight down and how high up we actually are from the sea level. Got a little bit of a treat. There is a bald eagle flying just off from the shore. Might be hunting there. For a quarter, you can use the rental binoculars. And according to one of the people that work here, that is Wisconsin over there. And over by that adjacent building, and in the foreground on the right, you can see where those foghorns are. They're just huge. But you can also look up there into the top of the lighthouse, and you can see the lens up there that would magnify the light and spin so that to warn the ships that are passing by. That is a massive lens. I don't know how tall that is, but it looks like it's at least 6.5 feet tall, maybe more. This side building is open. We're gonna poke our head in here and see what information they have. This is actually, the weekend we're here is actually going to be the weekend of what they are referring to as the Storm of the Century. This is Thanksgiving weekend for us in 2021, and on November 28th, 2005, there was a really bad storm in this area. So the storm that they're talking about on the display is part of the reason why they decided to build the lighthouse at this location. The storm brought down a ship that was carrying ore. And in addition to this ship, there are many, many that crashed near this site. So that's why they thought that this would be a good location. This just happened to be the last big storm before they decided to pass it in Congress to make the lighthouse at this location. Over here, a little bit of an explanation of how the lens on the light works and how it travels. Look at this, with the curvature of the Earth and the height above the sea level, which is 168 feet, you can see the beacon of the light for up to 22 miles is the official range from the lighthouse, 22 miles. I don't know if I got on camera before, but every 20 minutes I will play a recording of what the foghorn sounded like, so that you can hear that, but it'll be a lot quieter than what it used to be. So what do you think of this view?
It's beautiful.
Oh,
it is
yeah.
a gorgeous view. I mean, you see the lake and everything. It's wonderful.
No wonder this has been a tourist location for people
Yeah.
to go to for over a century. It's
Yep.
just so beautiful. What do you think? You want to explore up here anymore, or are we good?
I think we're good.
Okay, let's head back down toward the Welcome Center then.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go up and see if I can see anything through the door here of the building. I can't go inside. Just let's take a peek. So you can see a little bit of display in there for the office of the lighthouse. I can't really see much from here, but we can come back here when it's warmer to check out the actual full-on tour. There's the other side of those lighthouse keeper buildings, so you can see, I don't know which side you would consider to be the front, but this is a neat little piece of property. If you're quiet, you can hear the water lapping on the shore. Shoot, I kind of just missed it, but the foghorn just went off.
Just went off.
What is it? Well, I guess be descriptive. What does it sound like?
It sounds like a foghorn.
That's actually the best description you can give. If you ever heard one before, that's kind of what it sounds like.
I think most people have heard a foghorn before.
Well, who knows what the kids these days.
It sounds like.
There's actually a trail this way, but it's closed off, at least right now. Just kind of wanted to come over here to see if we can see a different angle of the lighthouse, but there's a tree in the way, whatever. But you can still kind of see the rock face. Well, I don't know if this actually was the most photographed place in Minnesota before we got here, but it is now after we're done. We definitely got our pics in. One thing to note is, talking to the volunteer, the prime time to come here is actually between May
1st, and if you're familiar with Minnesota, MEA weekend, which is mid-October. Yeah. This is actually the off season, so they're closed a couple of days during the week, and they don't have as much open to go through.
Of course, on the way out, Carrie had to hit up the gift shop, and she found herself an ornament, so yay.
Hey, and I got Christmas gifts for people, too, so that's a win.
Yeah, exactly. But we had a good time here at Split Rock. Why do I have trouble saying that?
Split Rock Lighthouse.
What she said. Do you have a good time?
Yes, I had a great time. This was our first visit here, and I'm actually kind of surprised we've never done this before with all of our trips.
Exactly. Well, so what's the details on this?
Details. It is $8 per person for admission. That gets you access to the little museum, the movie, and of course the grounds. We were here about an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that.
Yeah. So we've spent a decent amount of time here today.
Yeah, and check out the museum, because that's a lot of interesting.
It's not that
big, but there's a lot of interesting information about this area and how they built the lighthouse and all that stuff, because you kind of put for granted about how they could have built this, because these roads were not here way back when and all that stuff.
Yeah, you forget what, well, you just didn't know what was actually around here at that time.
Or what wasn't, more like it. But no, a lot of fun. And this is part of the Minnesota Historical Society, so this is not a state park. This is a different situation than that. But no, a lot of time. We have to come back here again in the spring or next fall, when there's some more leaves and everything's open up, and we can do the tour, the proper tour of the lighthouse and everything. So, will we do it again? Yes. We're going to do it again. But I want to thank you for joining us. I'm Bill.
I'm Carrie.
You're watching KB Treks. Please do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe so we know you're out there, and help the channel grow. Until next time, good luck and have fun.
See ya.